Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, August 24th, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Thursday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. In the previous session here, one thing we were looking for was the potential for a push through the previous session's midpoint, which would open up the potential for a short covering rally of some nature here. We did get that. We got a big time stop run day through that level, especially with late day after hours earnings announcements there. Big time push to the end of the day, and right now a little bit of a failed new high developing, perhaps a little bit of a fade back into the previous session could occur. And will this new high turn into a bigger pivot high after recent downtrending price action? At the moment, we've seen a good squeeze back above the previous month's low price, and that could take us back to the previous month's midpoint and even higher, maybe to retest the 45.83s, which is the FOMC key level from July 26th. So how much bounce will we get out of this move right now, or is this about as good as we go? Remember, overall, this market has failed at the 4,600 level, and that could open up a return all the way back to 4,200. 4,200 is still below, and so again, every pullback could still be seen as a selling opportunity for a continuation down until we find a strong enough low to turn us back higher. This was a good intraday strong low. It's led to a decent little swing move up, but it may not be the swing low just yet. We may still have a little bit more downside ahead, perhaps to fill the gap and to go down there and retrade value and the 4,200 level. Once that level's reached, it could be a bounce back up. A failure here opens up 3,800 below. So those are the key levels to continue to watch here. But watching the previous session's high here, any failure back below 44.60 could open up a retest of the previous session's midpoint. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. Right now, narrow range of price action, 47% of ADR for the NQ, the ES at 41% of average range. Very narrow right here. Again, keeping an eye on the previous session's high close. A fade back into the zone here could lead us back toward the midpoint. A stop run day with a big time push through the prior session's midpoint and a huge continuation through that high. Something we talked about that prior day. That could potentially happen in the right scenario. We saw that play out here. We've seen this thing pop back above the previous month's low. Again, that could open up a retest of 1556 up above. Keep in mind, the top end of the zone right now could be resistance. This is right around the area where we failed just before. So if you look at these highs here, these highs up there, and then these lows, this is what we mentioned before. If we're going to fail here, you drop down into the bottom of the range. Perhaps you bounce back up, but then this edge over here could be used as another sell back down, and maybe a continuation from there. Do we get a continuation back down? Do we go back toward 13.5 and year-to-date VWAP? Very similar to how the ES could return back toward 4,200. That's going to be something we'll keep an eye on. But again, right here in this area, very clear developing resistance in the 500 zone. That could be an opportunity here to fade back for eager bears looking to defend into this strength. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil. Right now, crude oil showing new lows here in the previous 3 days. You got the high failure right here, rejection off the previous month's high, and a drop to new lows here through the 79s. That's what we mentioned before. On this day, we mentioned any pullback here could offer an opportunity to drop it into 79 and perhaps lower, especially upon a failure to hold 81s. And on this day, price broke back below 81s, dropped now as low as the 77s there, and holding at the moment, still downtrending. Is the next pullback an opportunity for bears to defend yet again? Again, the 80-50 level is going to be very important today. If we finish out like this or somewhere near it, failed new highs could be seen, very similar to this. for another rotation back down into 76, and the year-to-date VWAP, and then again a shot to even go lower into the range. So right now, bears looking to defend into strength for a continuation down in crude oil. All right, let's take a look now at gold futures. Right here, you'll notice gold with a decent bounce here. Did not get the 200-day, did not get the previous month's low, did not get the 1900 edge. Instead, a decent little bounce here to the upside and retrading VWAP for the year at the moment. So right at value right now, and value has been rather flat as well. So this has been value for a while. Right here, you can see how flat it's been for multiple months. So we are right at value here for gold. Do we get a continuation to the downside into that 1900 here soon, or do we just continue back up within the range, staying inside this 1900 to 2000 range? 100-point range right now, been in play for multiple months. Value has been flat. Right now we're trading right at value, which means theoretically speaking there is not really much of an edge at this price just yet. Got to be patient here, but keep an eye on the previous session's high close. A failure there, and you could rotate back to the midpoint of the previous session, perhaps a bit lower. All right, let's take a look now at the YM. The YM right now showing a very narrow multi-day range, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. This 4-day narrow range finished yesterday. We have one developing here today. Again, 5-day narrow range could open up quite the move ahead. So let's quantify that here with a 5-day reading, and what you'll see is the potential to see about 980 points of range up ahead on a 125% basis, 700 plus if it were to go to average. So right now, 5-day narrow range, and if we stay within this narrow range, again, we could be looking at expansion up ahead, but any failure, again, could lead to a continuation down. 33.8 is the level here, and we have the potential for at least 1,000 points over the next 5 days if a breakout should occur. Now keep in mind, even if we stay within this range and then rally and reject off of 34.8, 34.8 minus 1,000 could give you 33.8. That could be a 1,000-point play right there. So watching this 5-day range and then looking for expansion out of that range to the tune of about 1,000 points up ahead, likely into that 33,800. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out here heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.